Clarity, peace, and joy to all of you. We are the spirits of the cards. We influence the shuffling of the cards by blending our energy and choosing the right ones for you at this moment. It is our best intention to give you guidance, not prediction. However, you are all your own best guides and navigators for making important life decisions. Never underestimate your own ability to make the right decision in any given situation. Let your emotions be your guide. If it feels good, you are on the right path. If it feels off, better pause and contemplate. Then listen to your inner self. You are the creator of your own reality. Always remember who you really are. You came forth to this time-space reality from one source, from pure positive energy, which we all call love. A reminder to everyone that has long forgotten. Knight of Pentacles. Follow a course, stick to the plan, and you can reach even a doubtful goal. You just need a firm decision. The Knight of Pentacles is about the daily tasks and the responsibility that one has to gain through a specific project. This knight has the patience to accomplish all his given duties and is considered by others reliable and committed to his work. To see this card is an indication that there is a need to be trustworthy and reliable. You are fully committed to your assignments and you make sure that you complete your work efficiently. You are absolutely loyal and do the best you can in order to make sure the job will be properly completed. Though your sense of duty is admirable, beware that it does not turn into perfectionism, which can manifest itself in every aspect of your life. The Knight of Pentacles can also represent routine, or the kind of general hard work that you go through every day. The meaning of the Knight of Pentacles also advises that the seeker should continue to do exactly what he is doing. Sticking with the tried and true methods, he will accomplish everything he has set out to do. Sometimes, going with what has already done is not necessarily bad. Ten of Pentacles. Intellectual stimulation, wisdom, knowledge, and the exchange of those with inspirational people. The Ten of Pentacles deals with permanence and satisfaction. The card shows that everything you have put your efforts into for a long time will pay off in the future. It suggests that everything will work out well in the end, for you have always kept the long-term picture in view, choosing to take no shortcuts. Your legacy is sure to stand for quite a long time to come. This is a relief, for the path to get here has been filled with setbacks and challenges, making this point of the journey even sweeter. In the card, the aged man is able to sit back and relax while watching the lives of his children and grandchildren. The satisfaction he derives from his achievement is connected in his children's happiness. The meaning of the Ten of Pentacles also relates to the happiness that you experience because you have planted many seeds of happiness and shared in the lives of others, particularly family members and relatives. It points to the importance of these people in your lives. The Ten of Pentacles symbolism is rooted in both financial success and stability. It shows prosperity and lack of financial struggle. It also asks you to make decisions that will not only have positive results in the present but also in the long term. The decisions that you make should produce positive results that last for generations to come, gradually benefiting to your family as well. Three of Cups. Celebration in the cheerful company of dear friends. A time to remember. The meaning behind the Three of Cups represents a period of happiness. You will be able to forget the worries of your daily life and spend quality time with family and friends. To see the Three of Cups can indicate a happy reunion with a long-lost friend, relative, or loved one. It can also mean a celebration, whether it is your own or for someone who you love. The event can be a birthday, wedding, or any other happy occasion. In general, it is about spending quality time with people you cherish in your life. The three maidens represent your circle of friends who you turn to for love, compassion, and support when you need them the most. It can be old college buddies, colleagues at work, or people you have shared a special bond over the years. If you have had problems with your social life, this card can signal the end of those hardships. You will be able to resolve differences and learn how to deal with the problem. Four of Swords. Not every hero won the battle, but it is still heroic. Treasure how your action will be remembered. After the time of chaos, anger and pain represented in the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords can signal that it is time to retreat. The Four of Swords is a moment of rest. Whether this is from a choice to withdraw or whether it is from pure exhaustion, it is not clear. We are still weak from the wounds that were inflicted, and the battle weapons still hang above us as a very serious reminder of what was lost. In order to continue and re-emerge in your daily life, you must take the time now to take a breather. There is always the unclear fear that something more is bound to happen again, and it is advisable that you take all chances to rest. You need to gain strength and clarity in a quiet environment away from your current circumstances. It is time to reevaluate, organize, and understand your priorities. This helps to rejuvenate one's spirit and you come out stronger than before. The Four of Swords indicates that it is time to gather new strength and prepare to face a new challenge. You have faced crisis after crisis and it is exhausting you. You can face a new challenge only after getting away from everything and embracing a new atmosphere. Take the time to nurture yourself to re-enter life. Within us glimmers hope, and it lies quietly, waiting to reveal itself after we are healed again. Knight of Cups. Pride makes lousy armor, but we are all even more vulnerable without it. Make sure you do something to be proud of. The truth is that the Knight of Cups is the most feminine amongst all the Knight cards. It is important to note though that this doesn't even slightly suggest that he is any less of a worthy knight. It implies that he is in proper touch with his emotions and his intuition, and that he uses them for his own well-being and during his many romance and seduction quests. He is usually quite attractive and charming to others, regardless of their gender. When faced with an actual decision, the Knight of Cups is going to listen to his heart, regardless of whether this is actually a logical choice or not. He can also manifest as an event or a person in your life or a part of your own self. He appears as a messenger, and with him, he carries an invitation or an arrival of something or someone which is going to have a certain emotional benefit for you. As a knight, he is also charged with taking the gifts of his suit and bringing it outward into the world. He therefore can also represent the undertaking of some project with significant emotional or creative value for you. 10 of Wands. Too much to carry. Your workload is unreasonable. and still there is no certain reward ahead. Are you being used for others' profit? This card shows that you have already completed the circle of struggle. After spending too many resources and lots of energy looking for success, you have finally overcome the obstacles. Your hard work was worth it. Your efforts have finally been rewarded. You may find yourself living in a world of abundance where poverty and suffering have no chance to interfere. Although it sounds marvelous and satisfying, the card describes a lot of responsibilities on your side. You are now the only problem solver in your circle of family and friends, which could even drive you into another world of challenges. At this point, you are also flooded with responsibilities to maintain your success. The businesses that you have started are flourishing and keeping you alert and ready for anything that might happen. The main problem is that these issues could affect you if you lose control, which requires you to make sure that you know how to prioritize and solve the relevant ones. In the real world, this card expresses how people try to burden themselves with responsibilities after they attain initial success. It is like graduating from college, getting a job, and then starting to make it in the real world. More challenges keep coming. You may find yourself looking after your parents, starting a family, and at the same time look to others, which may make you feel as though you are not yet successful. It becomes a burden because at some point, you find out nothing is enough to accomplish all these duties. The general lesson of the card is that people should be moderate. Prioritize and understand that they cannot solve everything. Some things must be let go, given to others, the burden shared. Three of Pentacles. Is it for real or not? You wonder about something essential, unable to know where to find the answer. 3 represents the successful completion of a goal, usually involves a group of some sort. In this scenario, the 3 of Pentacles meaning is that there is a successful achievement of all the requirements to pursue your business, deal, venture, or any kind of attempt to achieve a goal. Successful projects usually require different kinds of expertise, and at this moment, the 3 of Pentacles means that all the skills required are coming together. In short, you are enjoying working together as part of a team, and also in the initial success of this bigger project. The 3 of Pentacles reveals a successful beginning towards achieving your goals. It is a sign of encouragement that you should press on with the same effort without giving up. You may struggle to accomplish your goals as an individual, but the 3 of Pentacles also teaches people not to ignore the talents of others that surround you. You need the collaboration of others with diverse viewpoints, experiences, and expertise to accomplish something more than you could have ever dreamed of. The Emperor. You are up against real power, so yield or suffer the consequences. If it refers to another person, it is someone you just have to obey whether you want it or not. He or she has the power to decide the outcome, and it would cost you very dearly indeed to oppose. You are likely to be aware of this beforehand, since you know what power you are up against. If it is an event, you have to accept that the outcome is out of your hands. It is decided elsewhere, and you just have to comply or suffer the consequences. As they say, you can't fight City Hall. If it refers to you, though, it says that you have the power to force the outcome of your choosing, but probably not without a fight. Don't worry, you will win it. Ace of Swords. This is an exclamation mark here for the principle of serious action. There is approaching need of it. Do something. As with all the aces, the Ace of Swords indicates that one is about to experience a moment of important discovery. With its sharp blade and representing the power of the intellect, this sword has the ability to cut through deception and find truth. In layman's terms, this card represents that moment in which one can see the world from a new point of view, as a place that is filled with nothing but new possibilities. It is therefore the best time to work on your goals, as all the aces give green lights and are signals of waiting opportunities and new beginnings. It might also be a good time for you to seek justice and the truth in all matters, since your conscience is clear and your thoughts are happening quickly. If you rise to the occasion, your sharpness and clarity in thought will be rewarded. When we look at the swords closely and see its double edge, we are also reminded that this sword may be either used for righteous deeds or to deal destruction. It all depends on the person and is a warning too that excessive power holds the danger to corrupt. If you stick with principles, the sword will serve you well. Four of Wands, the celebration of a homecoming of sorts, returning from the world enriched and pleased, receiving the praise and rewards for it. The overall meaning of the Four of Wands is that it indicates celebration as well as a harmonious, happy and relaxed home environment. In terms of numerology, the number 4 symbolizes stability as well as particularly reliable foundations. These are associated with a period of happiness and balance. The symbolism within the Four of Wands poses that this is the perfect time for you to get together with close people such as friends and family. This could be with or without any special occasion. Oftentimes, this card is known to reflect a period of holidays when you are together with your friends and family for an extended period of time. It might also be suggesting for you to invite your closest friends for a great and intimate dinner and share a laugh or two. Furthermore, if you have been working on a certain project, this card entails that you will be reaching a particularly important milestone. This is going to provide you with grounds for celebration, which is also to be considered. You have managed to complete a proper and most important phase of that project, and meaning you have every reason to be feeling proud and satisfied, which are amongst the general feelings caused and reflected by the Four of Wands card. Death, a costly loss, sometimes but not always, the death of someone. If it refers to another person, which is quite rare, it is either someone marked by death or something harmful will happen, or it is a person bringing it. Such a person is an acquaintance that can be very costly to you, even dangerous. Be cautious. If it is an event, it is something that's sinister, though not necessarily death, happening in your surroundings. It may distress you more or less, but it is probably not happening primarily to you. Still, there is reason to be careful. If it refers to you, it may very well be a serious warning about your health or some other very serious problem already striking you. If you can change the path you are on, you should. It is a warning. It may also mean that you can cause problems, even serious harm to others. Knight of Wands. You have grasped the opportunity and boldly move forward. Great promises of success as long as you just sit tightly on your saddle. The Knight of Wands symbolism is straightforward. When it appears, it means a great time to get away and travel. The person should feel charged up and full of life. One is also ready to get things done. He is adventurous and can find fun things to do no matter where he is. There is never a dull moment when the Knight of Wands is around. When the Knight of Wands shows up in a reading, it seems to suggest that the seeker wants to complete important tasks. One wants to impress others with one's knowledge and skill. The card also shows up when the person is planning to move to another place of residence. If you are starting a creative project, then you should do so with lots of energy and enthusiasm. However, you should balance it with realistic and well-rounded views. You should also have a plan that takes into account the consequences of your actions. Getting the Knight of Wands in a reading can also mean that there is an event that you don't expect to happen soon. If it is accompanied by the Eight of Wands, then you should expect a lot of changes in your life. More often than not, the Knight of Wands indicates a quick change of job, residence, or anything in your life. Two of Pentacles, confusion. Your mind struggles with trying to make two seeming opposites combine. A contradiction that appears impossible to solve, but it needs to be. The Two of Pentacles is a card about balance. The coins are displayed in a manner that is unpredictable. Any small change in wind or weight can tip and send them falling. For those that may have more coins to go around, they can afford to be less careful, but at this moment, things may be tight. Wealth too is a kind of energy, and it is the kind whose goings in and goings out are easiest and most tangible to see. There is a possibility that you are trying hard to keep the two aspects of your life in a perfect and delicate balance. This could be your career, money, love, and health. The balancing act represented in the card suggests that there are two major factors that you are deeply concerned about. It is time for you to step back to have a better perspective of the situation. While you may initially think it will save you time, multitasking may just worsen the situation. Cut down on your tasks and concentrate on these two factors that are troubling you. You've done a good job keeping things stable, for you seem to be able to adjust well to all the changes that ask you to continually rebalance. When it comes to love, the Two of Pentacles is associated with your inability to provide the energy and time required to make your partner happy. Your partnership should be your main priority, but with all the madness in other areas of your life, you are finding it hard to devote your attention to your loved ones. With regards to finances, you should pay attention on the bottom line. You should have a clear picture on your financial state. Plan your finances accordingly, control your expenditures, and increase your stream of income to create a solid foundation for your future. In terms of health, this card is asking you to find a balance between your own well-being and your responsibilities. It is easy to make yourself the last priority when you have so many things happening around you. Six of Wands, success and great gain in material matters, making others want to join you. But don't forget to prepare for rainy days that may come. This particular card is all about public recognition, victory, and success. Not only have you managed to properly succeed in achieving all of your goals, but you are also being publicly acknowledged for them and the results that you have managed to attain. You have received an award or some sort of public praise. The card is suggestive that you have managed to use the strengths and talents that you have within you in an attempt to bring a particularly successful outcome in your life. You have managed to properly get through the confusion and handled to properly minimize distractions, thus successfully focusing on your goals and achieving them. It is also worth noting that there is a slight disadvantage apart from the overall positivity that stems from the card. It can bring self-importance as well as egotistical behavior and arrogance. This could make you think that nobody is better than you. Nine of Wands. Recovering after having been overwhelmed by too many disadvantages. You struggled hard, but everything was against you. You want to try again. The Nine of Wands card is one that symbolizes great hope, even when one is faced by many problems that threaten to make them lose their balance. The Nine of Wands symbolizes one's life, which has undergone too many trials, but through their determination and will, they were able to overcome them. However, there are still more trials that the person may face. This can be one major trial or challenge that they are supposed to face for them to reach their goals or be successful in their journey. The card is a sign of hope and encouragement that you should face your trials with courage so that you may attain success. The Nine of Wands may also mean that a person has been betrayed and has thus become mistrustful towards others. This may be because of something that has happened a number of times and might on the first glance seem hopeless. But there is also hope and courage here, and the belief that this outlook is about to change. Someone or something may come into their life that will change their whole view of their past struggles. It encourages one to take that risky move because they may be surprised. Nine of Swords. Regret of choices made and anxiety of choices urgently needed to be made. There is no way out of responsibility. The Nine of Swords is often associated with fear and anxiety about all the things that worry you and keep you up at night. Sometimes this card can be associated with trauma, one which may be shameful for you to reveal with others about, and all the psychological responses that come from experiencing that trauma. When we are never released from the entrapment represented in the Eight of Swords, we escalate into the Nine of Swords, where we are troubled by nightmares. The Suit of Swords is one that is concerned with the mind, with logic, with intelligence, and with communication, but somehow the Nine of Swords was caught on the destructive end of the mind, the one which turns inward on itself, multiplies, and becomes worse. Questions are bothering you, and you find yourself reciting all the possibilities, all the things that can happen to you. You are haunted by what could be. There is a sense of repetition within this card that some event which has troubled you before and one which you managed to either hold back or run away from is coming back again. Sharing your grief does at least provide an outlet for your pain and may release you from carrying this burden alone. Is there anyone that you can feel comfortable speaking to? Ace of Wands. Every ace is sort of an exclamation mark. Something important, even remarkable, will take place in the case of Wands regarding your material circumstances. It is neither good nor bad, but very significant, indeed affecting your relation to material matters. Wands symbolize creativity, and the Ace of Wands is the boldest among the cards in the suit. It is not the kind of creativity that you learn from school or as a hobby. It is bravely finding your own voice. It creates a place where you can develop your own vision. In other words, it is associated with willpower and creativity in the cosmic sense. When you draw the Ace of Wands, it is an indicator that you should just go for it. Take the chance and pursue an idea that you have in mind. Take the first steps to start the creative project. The Ace of Wands calls out to you to follow your instincts. If you think that the project that you've been dreaming of is a good idea, then just go ahead and do it. The Ace of Wands can also perhaps mean that you are waiting for a sign to start a project. To draw this card pushes you to act now, instead of worrying over research and more planning. Take small steps today and then continue to grow your ideas over time. Action is what helps you grow and build momentum. Don't remain in the abstract. Another Ace of Wands meaning is the occurrence of an important discovery moment in your life. It is a time when you are motivated and inspired about a passionate project or idea. You are excited about the opportunities that are opening up for you in the near future. Four of Pentacles, a self-obsessed mind caught by the brilliance of his own thinking. But thoughts can be shared without wasting them. The Four of Pentacles card is capable of generating both negative and positive perceptions. On one hand, the card signifies that you have successfully managed to accomplish much of your goals and you have managed to attain a significant material wealth in the process. However, on the other hand, there is a significant chance that you will start valuing things only for their material worth. You have worked hard to get to the point where you are now, and it is absolutely natural for you to desire to make sure that you remain stable. But this also has a chance to turn you into an overly possessive or greedy person who wants to ensure that no one is capable of taking away your own wealth. The Four of Pentacles is also a card which shows that you are currently in a position in which you have solid investments and that you are financially stable. Because of your newfound wealth, you are being particularly conservative about money, and you are most definitely not inclined to gamble when it comes to any kind of financial matters. You are protective of what you have managed to accumulate throughout time, and you desire to steadily increase your overall net worth. Be aware that without risk, there is no reward. If you spend too much of your time attempting to conserve, you may become a prisoner to your own material possessions. Wealth is a kind of energy as well, and we create what we express. Six of Cups, joy and childish happiness. Nothing seems complicated, no threats are approaching. Cherish the moment. The Six of Cups generally represents generosity, innocent happiness, and childhood. It can stand for you wanting to return to a happier time, whether it was when you were a child, teenager, or young adult. Many times, these memories are things of the past, which reflect the aspects of ourselves that have disappeared. You may feel that remembering these times is the only way to feel happy. The Six of Cups appearing in a reading seems to indicate that while we may look upon the past with a happy eye, we must avoid living in it. The Six of Cups can also mean that you will be returning to a familiar place. This could be your hometown, an old friend's home, a school, or any place that holds a lot of meaning for you. You are seeking to reconnect with people from your past. Bringing back old memories reminds us of our childhood, a time when things were simpler. Coming after the Five of Cups, this card can also suggest that you may have suffered a loss or disappointment of sorts, and you are making the journey home. You are looking to the past to find the answer to the crisis or challenge that you are facing now. You may be seeking the comfort and warmth of people that unconditionally love you, gathering strength to face the trials that are in front of you. Two of Wands, longing for the world and all it has to offer. although you may already have a decent share of it. The Two of Wands is a more mature version of the Ace of Wands, meaning that this card is all about planning and moving forward, progression. Look at it this way. You have already set out to achieve a particular task, which means you have turned an idea into a realistic plan. Such a plan will require fulfillment, and therefore, you have to progress from just having the plan to actually achieving what you set out for. Discovery is being considered as another Two of Wands meaning. This is because it means that you are stepping out of your cocoon and exploring new experiences and worlds. While the beginning might seem tough and difficult, the Two of Wands card encourages you to make great efforts and push forward. The Two of Wands card also means that you are beginning to realize your objectives and long-term goals before you set out to achieve these objectives. In other words, you have tried hard to get to where you are, and now moving forward, you have your long-term goals in mind. In summary, the Two of Wands meaning revolves around making decisions. In other words, you are either satisfied with your current knowledge or you are moving forward and taking risks. It means leaving your comfort zones and exploring new territory. Five of Pentacles. Desolation or great loneliness. You have no idea how to get out of it because you are stuck in old lines of thought. Whenever the Five of Pentacles shows up in a reading, it suggests a time of hardship and insecurity. The meaning of this card can be deep loneliness, illness, poverty, or loss. Your status might take a turn for the worse in the near future. There is a chance that you will lose something significant, whether it is financial wealth or an important item. Deterioration of your health might be already ongoing or be very sudden. This may be feeling cursed. That bad luck is something that can't shake off easily. The Five of Pentacles symbolism can also be that of old debts, high credit card balances, or unpaid loans. It is a reminder that you should consider sorting out your finances. Mistakes you have made in the past might also haunt you. The Five of Pentacles is not a good sign when it comes to questions relating to love. It can be an indicator that the person you love is not feeling the same way. And just like the figures on the card, you might feel like you were left out in the cold. The Wheel of the Year, an uncertain outcome with an aftermath to be carefully considered. If it refers to another person, which happens rarely, it is someone willing to risk it all on the hope to be lucky. You can't say what it will lead to, so be careful about how much you commit to that person. Are you also willing to take a chance? If you really are, then this person is your ticket. If it is an event, and that is most often the case, it means that the future is hidden regarding the issue at hand. Anything can happen. It is hard to prepare for anything, but you can at least be prepared for a surprise. What is most likely to happen is what you considered very unlikely. If it refers to you, it suggests that you have a tendency to risk too much with too little preparation. You want to improvise it, whatever problem it is you are facing. That kind of improvisation can sometimes lead to really good solutions, but the opposite is just as possible. You should choose carefully when you want to leave things to chance. Ten of Swords, complete defeat, probably because of betrayal. You may suffer, but you are not to blame. The Ten of Swords indicate a major disaster of some sort. It shows that a certain force of extreme magnitude has come to hit you in your life. one that you may have not foreseen. There is a sense of betrayal that is indicated here, for the character is stabbed in the back. This seems to be a reminder that despite how much we try, we cannot control everything. There are things that are beyond our ability to change. Here, this situation is unavoidable. The tale of the Suit of Swords is a powerful figure of speech, one that ends in tragedy. The swords are a symbol of the intellect, of intelligence and logic, and yet we find the final climax of this suit a complete and total defeat of the spirit. We must realize that the swords are a weapon that can have huge potential for destruction or for good. The story as it unfolds from the Ace to the 10 is one where an untrained individual uses this weapon for faulty reasons, makes many mistakes, and then spends an entire lifetime attempting to run away from the power that he misused. This person believes the swords are external to him when they are part of him, and when they automatically return, he once again suffers. His pain is not the pain of his circumstances usually, but the pain of fear, of anxiety, of not being able to be a master of his surroundings. After the hopelessness of the Nine of Swords, what could have happened? Were you strongly affected by the pressure? Or did you take the final sword upon yourself and admit defeat? The Ten of Swords represents that situation where your mentality is self-pity. You feel like there is nothing you can do. Pause and remember that as with the Death card, the end of something means a new beginning. Let go of what you have lost and focus on the new path forward, because that is where your life is meant to go. A good example is a breakup with your partner. Though it could be intensely painful, it could also be the beginning of a new sense of independence. The Fool, blissful carelessness, the power of ignorance. If it refers to another person, which is often the case, it is a carefree creature who just can't be bothered with ambitions and elaborate plans. It may frustrate you, but you can also learn from it. Few things seem serious in the moment. Does the Fool seem happy? Are you? Depending on those two answers, make your choices. If it is an event, which is not that often the case, it means that nothing goes according to plan, and the only thing you can do about it is to have a good laugh. Some things are such that the more you try, the less you succeed. A situation can be sort of slippery. An opportunity slips out of your grip, and you can get lost on a path that seems ever so straightforward. But still, don't worry about the outcome. If it refers to you, it means you are the Fool, for now or for long, for good or for bad. Usually that seems bad, but turns out to be good. You are able to deal with things in a carefree, improvised manner. What bothers others seems to have no effect on you. Congratulations! But if you have plans, don't expect them to be completed. The Chariot, triumph, but beware of its consequences at length. If it refers to another person, which is not that often, it is someone who grants success with whatever is at hand, also yours, even if your accomplishment might not have been decisive. If it is an event, which is what it usually does, it indicates a most fortunate outcome. But you have to consider what the long-term consequences might be. Envy from others is definitely one of them. If it refers to you, it shows you being impressive and successful. You have the ability to get where you want to go. Remember that the trick to accomplish lasting success is to be modest about it, and that is not always easy. Three of Wands, missing the world and all the good things it has offered. The card of having partaken in something rewarding but now being passed by as if obsolete. The meaning of the Three of Wands hints that you are planning or going to plan for the future with more conviction. This could mean that everything around your plans is going smoothly as you have taken the time to plan for your future and are taking steps to turn plans into action. It hints that you are perhaps creating a stable foundation for yourself. The symbolism within the Three of Wands is that opportunities can take place to widen your horizons in many areas. It also is a warning to keep your mind open as better opportunities could open up to you. As you take steps towards achieving what you set out to do, you are also becoming more aware of opportunities that are coming your way. And this could take you out of your comfort zone. This pushes you to sometimes embrace change and to start thinking in the long term. The Three of Wands can show that you are in control and have a strong position, just like the character that overlooks and stands strong. The Three of Wands is one of the main cards of foresight and vision. Lastly, the Three of Wands meaning is that of travel in search of what you are seeking. There is a sense of leaving home, a journey that must be undertaken. Great things do not happen to those that simply wait for them. You must expand. For most readings, this shows that you may travel to a new land over the water and that you may find an opportunity during your travels. King of Pentacles. Thinking ahead is the way to confirm what was gained in the past. The key to success is holding on to it. When we meet the King of Pentacles, we feel immediately his majestic and generous presence. He is a provider and a protector, for under his care is a flourishing and abundant kingdom, where its citizens are prosperous and encouraged to grow. He is naturally responsible and reliable, and through the wisdom granted to him, he has grown all that he has acquired from practically nothing. To see him in the cards is to envision success, one that was won by sincere work. Generally, this card reminds us to stay in control of our energy and our resources in search of a larger goal. When it comes to work, the King of Pentacles may refer to a more established man who will play a significant role in your career. This man can be wise and reasonable, but he may also be careless when passing judgment. He can be your biggest supporter, but be prepared to receive unsolicited and harsh criticism. In love, this can indicate that the person that you've been waiting for can come along and will love you for who you are. With regards to finances, the King of Pentacles is one of the best cards to receive. This may mean that your financial situation is stable as a result of your wise investments and hard work. In case you are taking a gamble, be sure to initiate a planned action. Seven of Swords. Betrayal right before the final battle. It may not lead to defeat, but victory is suddenly more distant. The Seven of Swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. When you get this card, it may suggest that you or someone else in your life is having difficulty getting away with something. There are instances when we are forced to be deceitful, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it is embarrassment, punishment, or worse. Sometimes this happens when there are instances when you had to make a quick decision and did something that was somewhat rude or out of character. Now there is a danger of the secret coming out. You may be tempted to disappear from somewhere, indicating a situation that is no longer working as expected. Instead of dealing with it, you choose to leave and hope that you will go unnoticed. Perhaps you were hoping that this issue would just resolve itself over time and you've neglected it, leaving it to only grow and get worse. The big question when looking at the Seven of Swords is whether escaping will solve this problem that you are facing. While you might be thinking that you have gotten away, you discover that the situation has cornered you and you are found out as you are trying to escape. There are instances when the Seven of Swords may indicate the willingness to go solo. You may have the urge to explore and discover some things on your own. This can be an effective approach if you want to declare your independence and bypass group agreement. The Seven of Swords symbolism may be encouraging you to go on this path. Sometimes innovation comes from a dishonest genius. Page of Swords. Bravery to the point of being careless, but there is so much more to win than to lose. Bright and alert, the Page of Swords is someone who never seems to run out of ideas. She is curious, always asking questions, and gifted with a sharp tongue and quick wit to match. Her natural ability for language also makes her an incredible communicator, and with her love of ideas, you may find her always engaged in some passionate debate. She seems to prosper on almost a kind of nervous energy, as if there was too much inside her to say, the wheels in her head always turning. As a news bearer, she may bring news, particularly gossip, legal matters, or agreements. Alternatively, you may find yourself required to use her energy. Be alert, keep your eyes open, and stay sharp and vigilant. This card may indicate that you are very eager to execute an idea that you have been having or a project that you cooked up just recently. You are quite passionate about it and you cannot wait to share the progress with others. Compared to your passionate heart, time seems to be standing still. It is time to be talkative. When a Page of Swords appears in a reading, it signifies communication and sharing of ideas. Whether it is someone else's ideas or yours, it is time to open up and talk about them as long as it is constructive. The shadow side, the pain and the light of giving in to temptation. If it refers to another person, it is somebody behaving in devilish way, wild and tempting. It is the kind of person you know you do best to stay far away from, but that is not easy. If it is an event, it is an opportunity to let go of your shyness and satisfy your lusts. Explore what you have not dared to before. Of course, as always with the devil, there is a price. Be prepared to pay it once you have followed your impulse. The devil card asks the question, do you dare to fall for temptation? And if not, do you have the strength to resist it? If it refers to you, it is because you have done away with many of your inhibitions and act upon your lusts and longings, even when others might be upset or even condemn it. You are sort of devilish, be it for long or just for the moment. Well, have fun while it lasts. It should be full of energy. Six of Swords, a most expensive outcome of a big journey. Either bitter defeat or a victory won at too great a cost. Still, you will persevere. The meaning of the Six of Swords is that you are experiencing a transition of some kind, but one that is not happy and filled with regret. This transition will most likely be the result of decisions you made in the past, and now they are forcing you to leave something behind in order to move forward. Despite your sadness, You need to remember that moving on is the ideal option for your future. Life is filled with moments when you are going to be forced into letting go of things that you have become attached to. This will be challenging. The Six of Swords shows the sadness that you may be feeling, but you have to remember that the pain will not last. So you should look instead to the future for strength. In life, there will be times that the only way to fix a problem is to leave it and move to start again. You may feel like this is the coward's way out, but escape is the only approach that is left when you have tried all other methods. The important part is to secretly plan your new direction that will lead you to happiness. The Six of Swords in this case is to plan using your logic, clarity, and objectivity about where you are now, where you have been, and where you want to go. Intuition can help, but you need to think logically to ensure your success. Queen of Wands. You have your possessions and know how to keep them, but do you know how to increase them? Don't settle with what you have or it may fade. In general, the Queen of Wands in a reading meaning may represent a person of extreme focus and intense passion. She is courageous and individualistic, though at times she may appear self-centered. They have a positive and an uplifting energy. They represent someone who is willing to be by your side and stand up for you. In terms of work, the Queen of Wands signifies that you are planning to accomplish a significant amount of achievement in just a small amount of time. In the event that you are looking for a job, the appearance of this card may mean that a woman will play a major role in your career move. Generally speaking, in terms of your career, things are looking pretty good. The Queen of Wands in questions of love also sends a positive energy. For people who are searching for love, there is a possibility that you will find it soon. When it comes to your finances, there is a chance that you are being carried away on spending a significant amount of money. We advise you to keep your expenses on check, or you will regret it in the end. In terms of health and spirituality, the Queen of Wands meaning may pertain to a spiritual hunger, a quest, or a search for meaning. Ace of Pentacles. This card is like an exclamation mark. An idea is forming, demanding contemplation. It can lead to a lot of good things. The aces are all indicative of new beginnings. When you draw any of them, it means that you are at a point in your life where a new cycle is beginning. You are about to start once again. Because the Suit of Pentacles is primarily concerned with all things material, not just financial but also with the sensual. This new cycle could manifest itself as a new career, the undertaking of a new venture, or the start of putting more care into your health. Wherever this beginning takes place, the Ace of Pentacles assures that what is to come will bring great abundance and opportunity. To see the Ace of Pentacles indicates a seed being planted in the material world in your feelings of security and stability. Like a seed, this opportunity must also be nurtured and sometimes invested in with energy, time, or funds. Watering this seed has the potential to be very rewarding, for anything that is grown on this energy is meant to be stable, secure, and give a good harvest. Prosperity is coming your way. One also has to make sure that they are psychologically prepared for the opportunities that are appearing. To be able to harvest the gift of the Pentacles, we need to be filled with the calm that stability brings. This is a kind of spiritual prosperity, if you will. This kind of mindset can mean we become open to trying new things and not sticking to the old, washed-out routine. Four of Cups, dissatisfaction. When you've had enough, what can pleasure you next? The question that brings on melancholia. The Four of Cups tend to appear when you are feeling discouraged and unmotivated. You may feel as if there is no solution or way forward in your situation. Life has become slow and nothing seems to make you happy or passionate. You are feeling uninterested regardless of what happens. Whether the day is good or bad, none of it matters to you. The Four of Cups commands a self-evaluation of your attitude so that you can pull yourself out of this boring routine. The solution is likely right in front of you. The hand is offering you a way out, but you release yourself out of your mental stubbornness and use new approach. You must search your motives, instincts, and thoughts so that you can find your passion again. The Four of Cups revolves around finding your true interests and working towards fulfilling them. Our lives are short and sometimes monotonous, but we must create meaning for ourselves. Our individual callings are not just there for us to find, but to decide and to imagine. The High Priest, the dependency on approval from an elevated dignity. If it refers to another person, which is most often the case, it is someone very self-important indeed, whom it is of vital importance to treat with respect, whatever you might feel about it. You need that person's approval. At least, you can't afford offending him or her. Watch out, because the High Priest is a person that is much more important to the final outcome than you might expect. Definitely more than what seems reasonable. If it is an event, it is a moment of great symbolic significance, which can lead to triumph or to defeat. The importance of it must be respected, or things are unlikely to go your way. Still, your own influence is minimal. Things beyond your reach and ability are involved. There is not much more to do than hope for the best and make sure not to offend anyone. If it refers to you, then you are in a position that others can't ignore. It is not exactly one of power to decide or spring into action. It is just that you can't be opposed and your preferences can't be ignored. You don't have to be modest about this strong influence, but you should. Tomorrow, in another situation, things may be very different, and people remember. To be respected is far from the same as being liked or even admired. Page of Pentacles. Time to dream and let the fantasy go. That gives strength and opens for new possibilities. Be optimistic. When we meet the Page of Pentacles, we see immediately that she is one that is ambitious and focused. She is protected, nourished, and provided for. She is deeply tied to the earth, nature, and all of its gifts. She cherishes the body, for it too is something which is a manifestation of her element. Her diligence, ambition, and loyalty drive her to quickly make plans for the future, for it is there where her focus lies. When you meet her, she may be the bearer of news connected to all earthly and material matters. When you hear her message, be inspired as she is. Lay down the foundations to follow your ambitions. Generally, the Page of Pentacles refers to the kind of energy that you need to complete all that is needed for your work. It may point to the determination, focus, and the ability to stick with a particular task no matter how boring it may seem. In terms of work, the Page of Pentacles may signify that there are a lot of tasks you are responsible for, but your time to complete them is much too limited. This is not the time to feel stressed and overwhelmed. Assistance will be there for you. You just have to ask for it. In relation to finances, the Page of Pentacles can refer to the reward for your hard work. For those who are investing their hard-earned money, this is not the perfect time for you to take the risk. Invest your money in a safe and traditional way. The careful and constant effort will pay you back. If you are currently experiencing a health issue, this problem may be the result of the continuous neglect. Let a professional make sure that this is not the case.